Howdy. Howdy, everybody. Oh, what's going on, guys? Sorry, I gotta mute things. Lighting seems off. Oh, well. Hi. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the It Doesn't Have to Make Sense channel. I am Shoki, and this is Saturday. Sorry, it's, I know it's not Friday. Yesterday, I was exporting a video that would take way longer than it even said that it would. Sad day. Sad day. Oh, well, it is what it is. I hope you guys can hear me, because I can't hear me. But that's because I have the thing muted. Now I can hear me. Cool. All right, either way. How's y'all's week? Mine was busy. Like, decently busy. Kind of strange. Oh. And then today has been a buttload of rain, and apparently it's going to still be a buttload of rain all the way through until tomorrow. So, gets rid of all the pollen, at least for now. What's up? What we got here in the chat? Give me a second. I scrolled back, even though there was nothing to scroll back to. It was literally the entire chat so far. Tara was here a little bit early. Then I said hi to Tara, and then we have Trisha. And Tara says hi back to Trisha and me. We got Val Prime as well. Dan and I are doing margaritas and fire outside tonight, first of the year. Okay. Yeah, Laura's just not coming to hang out with us. I mean, she was there the other night, but, you know, is what it is. And, guys, we did do Patreon trivia night on Wednesday. It was a lot of fun. Laura 2, what's going on? What's going on, Laura 2? I don't know. I'm in a weird mood. I don't know why I'm in a weird mood. I don't know if it's like sugar rush combined with the weather just being bleh. And guys, send some supportive waves towards Miss Shoki, because she is attempting to quit smoking. Yep. And also send some prayers of safety my way as well. She tried to quit smoking last year. It didn't necessarily go great, and then well, now we're going at it again, and now she's feeling a bit more optimistic, but it's a struggle, as with giving up anything you might be addicted to. But that's why I'm in here and she's in there. That's funny. Either way. Dude, it is March already. Not only that, the first week of March has already basically gone by. And St. Patrick's Day is little ways around the corner. So that will be That would be a fun Tuesday afternoon, I think. I'm not sure. We'll see. Oh, and won't be here next Saturday. I have a wedding with a friend, so we'll have to. Sounded weird. I have a friend's wedding, and then so we'll be here back on Friday, like a normal week we should have. We'll see. And of course, with Patreon, we'll be back next week for all the normal shenanigans. So if you want to come support that channel, you can do that. Also, if you want to go down and buy some merch, go check out the merch link in the description. The posters have been up for sale for a little while. And, of course, you got the Couch Dweller merch and a bunch of other stuff already there. And, of course, if you want to help support the podcast, the Now You Made It Awkward podcast, new episode dropped yesterday. And actually, as we pop over to the main screen, I have the teaser for this week's episode because I've been trying to steadily make sure we do have teasers for all the episodes. Denise is listening / lurking, getting ready for work. Sheesh, weather is better. Yeah, you said you have to work tomorrow. Yeah, it's been pretty nasty afternoon. All right, either way. So we do have the teaser right quick for this week's episode of the podcast. This week on Now You Made It Awkward podcast. I know I have something in mind. I'm trying to remember exactly what it is or what the connection is.
Other than any car I build.
No, that's totally rational. Your irrationality towards the things you build is what makes me rationally dislike it.
I've done the fast thing.
And
I've done the truck thing. I've done a lot of the.
Hold on. You said truck thing. You said the magic words for the fucking week.
Oh yeah,
the fucking trucktards.
Your yearly aneurysm.
I didn't know that last weekend was trucktard invasion weekend. That means a blind person drove up to this ATM to use it. Pet dog beware of owner. That's what it should say. Please leave the horse alone. No. Don't put that. Oh, God damn it. He's fucking the horse now. And he married it, too. He married the dead horse. He's now fucking it thoroughly. Yeah. Not louder, just stupider. Like the Democratic Party.
Trust me. It'll get dumber. It'll get dumber when I trim it and get the 30s on it.
I hate everything. Yeah. He comes from a polyamorous Klingon family where both his dads left. They went out to get Gach and never came back. Wow. Yeah, and now he's gay because he had an overbearing single mother. That's what happened. We already know that's what causes gay boys. All right, either way. Well, here we go. So, new episode of the podcast dropped yesterday. And we've actually gained several hundred new subscribers thanks to running YouTube ads. Funny, I've been on YouTube for 10 years, never really had the ability to just run ads as a tiny channel that doesn't even have monetization. So apparently I need to do that for this channel just to gain a few hundred real quick subscribers so I can push over the limit so I can actually start making any kind of money years and years on. All right, either way. So we do have a few things lined up for tonight. As usual, we're going to do a little bit of catch-up. But I did notice the other day that Gravy AI has a new one. And apparently, this one is an original, not a cover, called Devil's World. No idea what it's going to be about, but they have a brand new one. So usually with Gravy AI, we get just cool 80s metal covers of other types of songs. So I have no idea what this is going to be. Christine is here. What's going on, Christine? We do have the new Austin song, Burn the Boats. It's kind of funny, but all right. We've got Sheridan Brass with Stand By Me. We got High Carbon Steel with Learning As You Go, which I haven't heard in a long time, so that's why I was like, And apparently this is a second go at the thing. It says the take two, so I don't know if that means that they did it recently and they redid it, or it's been a while. Not entirely certain. We've got Josh Turner guitar coming in with a George Harrison song. I don't think it's the one we already watched, but I guess we will check. It says it's new. So, I don't know. We'll see. Unless it's the same song, but from a different point of view. I just don't remember. All right, we've got Melodica Bros. Been a minute since we checked in with the Weird Brothers. Coming back with a villain version of Let It Go. Should be interesting and or good. We do have new from the Fat Electrician, the Florida man that ended World War II. Now, I've already heard this story from Nick a couple times on different podcasts, but never seen this full breakdown. So that should be very interesting. How this one guy might have actually brought a real end to the war just by being barely smart enough. All right, we got Life in 3D. This probably should have been further up the list, but here we go. Life in 3D doing Somewhere. Chasing Cars from Corvyx and King Vagabond. I think that should be pretty interesting. It's something I saw the teaser for on Instagram the other day. We've got Anthony Vincent and Mac Lockley. I can never say his name, Mac Lockley, doing Miley Cyrus's Wrecking Ball, but in the style of Linkin Park. So I saw the teaser, the short version of this, on Instagram, and I'm like, we're going to listen to that on stream. That should be a lot of fun. And then Erik finally has a new one. It's been a while since we've actually checked in directly on Erik, so that should be good. I do know that VoicePlay put out a new one last week that we did not get a chance to do, but it's right there. It's right there with David Archuleta. If we have time, we'll come back around to that. I don't know if we will have time. Let's see what happens. Otherwise, what's going on with you guys before we get started? Just you guys talk. You guys say things. Also, this is one of my new hats. Do y'all like it? This is the Winter Rose. I did just get a new hat today. The patrons should have seen a post about that a little while ago. It came in this afternoon. Didn't get a chance to open the box. Now I did. It's okay. I got it because it came with a whole bunch of cool stuff, not necessarily because I like the hat. However, with St. Patrick's Day around the corner, I did need a new St. Patty's Day hat. And that, considering I learned something new on Wednesday, kind of sold me on getting that particular hat. So, either way. Got people messaging me right now. What? Okay, so real talk real quick, because my friend just sent me this. So he got admonished, I guess he's at the American Legion, he got admonished for eating a candy bar, quote unquote, as a savage. So if you guys have a Twix, yeah, it's Twix. I wanted to make sure I said that right. Twix. No, Kit Kat. Sorry, nope. Wipe that. Kit Kat. So that looks like a king size cluster of Kit Kats, which would be a that's an 8-some, right, for king size. So if you're eating Kit Kats, how are you guys eating them before we get started on this? Me personally, I actually, while it's still sealed, I will break apart the individual kits from the cats, and then I will eat them usually one by one, that way, from end to end, as I eat them. How do you guys eat your Kit Kats? It was a really weird question, but I want to know before. I want to know how weird my friend is here. Deep, deep, do 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 do. Typically, break them apart and eat them individually, but end to end, or another method. Lengthwise is what I'm getting at. Do you eat? I assume you eat them lengthwise, like a typical person. Now, I have previously, when it's like a normal small 4-pack of Kit Kats, I will eat the whole thing from end to end. Sometimes. Every now and then. But that is not normal. Excuse me. Because my friend Hefe apparently eats his like that. From the middle. Why would one do that? Why? That just seems just some kind of not right. Also, I just put a new case on my phone. So I forgot there are different levels to OtterBox. So I got this one. And my old one had horizontal slats or grooves across here, making it very easy for me to rest my phone on the edge here. Now that this one's smooth, I can't have my phone sitting here, even as a 2-pack, eat them individually. 2-pack? Who the hell's eating a 2-pack? They even come in 2-packs. Even the like minis come as singulars, like little quarters, right? All right, so good to know Trisha's the only cool person here. Oh, there's Christine. Break a strip, then bite off the chocolate, and then eat the wafer. That's still very strange. That's strange, but it's not eat it from the middle out as an entire bar, you know. And by the way, I bought a thing the other day that I think it was supposed to be like the King Kit Kats or whatever you want to call them. And I remember they used to do like a girthy, a rather girthy Kit Kat. I don't think they make those anymore. All right. Either way, where's the button I'm looking for? I don't push the buttons as much as I used to. I push the podcast buttons more often than I push the streamy buttons. All right, let's go see what's going on over here with this song. I assume there's not going to be anything on screen, so I'm just going to. Weird.
I woke up with the weight of sin in the air.
Okay.
Money buys a throne and no one cares. Children crying while the rich get fat. Ain't no justice in a world like that. This is the devil's world, no doubt in my mind, where love gets lost and the blind lead the blind. But I keep on praying through temptation, just gotta hope to make it to salvation.
Yeah, I kind of wrapped that a little fast at the end there. It sounds like who are the two guys? You know what I'm talking? I can't think of their freaking name. Hold on. It's gonna be hard to find just scrolling. I can't think of the name of the group. It's just like those two dudes with guitars. We've seen them mostly playing in the barn, but why can't I think of the name of the group? But it sounds like him. Hi, baby. Did you just come inside?
Yeah.
Okay, I thought so. What you doing?
I don't know.
You don't know? Okay. You want to put on headsets and listen along? You seem bored. We just got started with a new song. Sons of Legion. Thank you, Christine. Here. Grab Shadow's headphones over there. I don't know if they'll reach all the way across. Do you got space? Guys, you know it's bad if the wifey's coming to visit me in the middle of a stream, and not just for bothering me. Are you having a difficulty, my love?
Yes.
Well, they are praying for you, and for me. Oh, so hold on, I gotta show you this. Look at what our friend is doing.
He's eating it incorrectly.
Yeah, why is he eating Kit Kats that way?
Um,
Trisha says hi. All right. So this is a new song from Gravy AI called Devil's World. Tara says hi.
Preachers preach with gold on their hands, while the poor man's buried in the Shelton sand.
I was looking for that screwdriver.
Truth's gone quiet, lies run loud, and good hearts fade in a wicked crowd. Yeah, this is the devil's world, full of fire and pain, where the holy
Got
get
loud.
mocked and the sinners reign. But I hold on tight to revelation. Just gotta hope to make it to salvation. I ain't perfect, Lord, I stumble and fall, but I hear you whispering above it all. Through the smoke, the greed, the cold despair, I still believe you're waiting there. This is the devil's world, ain't hard to see, but I keep that cross close to me. When the trumpet sounds and I rise from this station, I just gotta hope, just gotta hope
Lord Who's back.
to make it to salvation.
Yes, please hit the like button. It's not bad. That wasn't too bad. A little bit different. I mean, it's cool that they finally wrote their own song, you know, instead of just making really badass 80s covers of other songs. Hold on. Baby, did I ever... I know I played a bunch of Gravy AI songs for you, but I don't know if I ever played Look Into My Teardrops.
I do not know.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Just
She's in a bad mood, guys.
not really in a bad mood. Just
You're in a blah mood.
blah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You probably also had too much sugar. You look like how I feel when I've ingested too much sugar. Yep. We need to find a different offset for you. But that's okay.
That didn't work out too well.
Nope. Okay, hold on. I want to play this. Unscheduled song, guys. Unscheduled song. Just because I discovered this poking around the channel, and I was like, ooh. Come on, machine. Why are you playing with Optimus's trailer? You have to open the back first. You have to open the back door first. It just flips down.
Okay, you can play that.
Now you can open it.
Look into my teardrops, and darling, you will see the reflection of an angel that made a fool of me. Look into my teardrops, and you will see the eyes that promised me so
Put it on top of the
many
other thing.
things, but all of them were lies. Look into my teardrops, in the mirror of my soul, and you will see the girl who's still my only
Flip it over.
world. But I couldn't hold.
See the blue things on the side there.
Look into my
Yeah.
teardrops.
Pull them out.
See the one that broke my heart forever. Aren't you proud of what you've done? Look into my teardrops in the mirror of my soul, and you will see the girl who's still my only world. But I couldn't look into my teardrops, and you will see the one
It doesn't really go anywhere in particular.
that broke my heart forever.
Just off to the side.
Aren't you proud of what you've done? Look into my teardrops in the mirror of my soul, and you will see the girl who's still my only world. But I couldn't hold. Look into my teardrops.
David, dude, rock out. Play your rock guitar.
Look into my teardrops.
So I think this is the best use of AI. But I forget all the other junk. All right. Well, things that aren't AI, we do have a new song from Austin. Burn the Boats. They keep calling these things that are music videos, they call them visualizers now. I don't understand why. Because visualizers were like what we used to have with like Windows Media Player back in the day. And like it would just have the cool spirally like stuff going on to the music. You remember that? That was a visualizer. This is just a music video with no effort, and they call this a visualizer now. All right, it's a new song. Do you want to try to watch along? It's a one-take music video, and they call it a visualizer.
Storms getting rough, sweats on our brow. We'll weather every wave somehow. Can't turn our backs, can't falter, no. No, we don't like it, don't back down.
Erik the Lurker is here.
There's a fight, we get the job done. Retreat is not an option, so burn the boats. If we go down swinging. They say run, we won't. We're in this together, singing everybody home. Don't give up, just go and burn the boats.
Nice. I said burn the boats. Baby. What do you need, my love?
Do I even have to answer that?
I know what you want. What do you need?
I need something to keep me busy.
Well, go play some Mario Kart. Take your rage out on the Mario Kart. Or some, go fire a pressure washer, or what do they call that? Whatever washer simulator. It's very good for keeping your attention and keeping you distracted. Power wash simulator. That's what I'm looking for. Hey, careful. Bye. hope the door's not jamming up again. Either way, back to the song. Also, anybody else notice that he said, I think it was Byron the boats right at the beginning?
No giving ground, not one step back. No quitting in that one white flag. Just unwavering focus. All that I know is they'll know our names at the end of the day. So burn the boats.
Sounded better that
We
time.
go down swinging. They say run, we won't. We're in this together, singing everybody home. Don't give up, just go and burn the boats. Burn the boats. Burn the boats. Burn the boats. There's a fight, we get the job done. Retreat is not an option. So burn the boat. If we go down swinging. They say run, we won't. We're in this together, singing everybody.
That was a lot of spinning.
Everybody home and burn the boat. Burn the boats.
You found this definition? That's stupid. It's like a visualizer, which is a simple music video. Is all that needed to say. A simple music video. You know, it was so dumb because we've watched one. I forgot who it was from. Might have been definitely Melinda did a couple. It's like those are just straight up music videos that had lyrics on the screen. And they called it a visualizer. I'm like, what are you talking about? It's dumb. Either way, interesting idea with burn the boats because that, of course, means when you arrive at a new land that you intend to conquer, you just burn your boats so you can't leave. But also, nobody can use your boats against you if you do that. Of course, there were some Vikings that would pull their boats out of the water, either disassemble them or basically use them to construct huts for protection. So there's a bunch of different things you could do with your boats back in the day. But it does seem kind of pointless to burn said boats, you know? That's perfectly good wood, you know? Burn other people's boats. That's an okay idea, I guess. But, of course, if you're dealing with Americans, don't touch the boats. Bad things happen. You might send your boat 10 feet into the air and then to the bottom of the ocean. Yeah, Type 48 torpedoes. Disturbing. All right, either way, we've got Sheridan Brass. Stand By Me. Downtown sessions, okay. TGI Fridays again.
When the night has gone and the land is dark and the moon is the only light we'll see. No, I won't be afraid. No, I won't be afraid. Just as long as you stand by me.
This is weird.
So darling, darling, stand by me. Oh, stand by me. Oh, stand now. Stand by me. Stand by me.
Anybody else think it's weird they have a TGI Fridays in Dubai? You know, American bar and grill, just straight up in the middle of Dubai. Seems a little funny. Actually, that's pretty good. Pretty good picture there. I'm not digging this arrangement much. It's almost like they went too hard into the country.
If the sky that we look upon should tumble and fall, or the mountains should crumble to the sea, yeah, I won't cry, I won't cry, no, I won't shed a tear, just as long as you stand by me.
Like, I get that it still has some of the vibe of the original, but there's something that's like a little too much, and I'm not sure what it is. It's just a little too much. Right? Yeah, show that alcohol selection.
So darling, darling.
Hold on there, Mr. Sheridan.
So darling. So darling, darling.
Dang it. Right here. Something I didn't catch. Hold on. Let me, So you see here, you got the booth, kind of the booth fix seat here. Then you have a tiny table here with two chairs facing this way as this little corner thing. How the hell is a person supposed to get into here when there's no space next to this booth? So that means you have to go past this section to get to that chair. That's not a very thought out thing there. It's not bad. It's just very weird. But I was also going to point out, no wonder they went out of business. They've got like 4 different types of seating in one small area. So you get the booth here. You got these little checkerboard chairs. And then from the wider shot right here, you see that you've got an end chair right here. And then he's on a bar stool. Their seat budget is too high. That's the problem with TGI Fridays. And that's probably why they went out of business. Any of this even good liquor? Glenlivet's overpriced, but not terrible. Johnny Walker. Bunch of just basic bullshit. Ugh. Patron.
So darling, darling, stand by me. Oh, stand by me. Oh, stand by. Stand by me. Stand by. Whenever you're in trouble, won't you stand by me?
Like, I didn't like that.
Oh, stand by me. Oh, stand now. Stand by me. Stand by me. Oh, stand by me. Ooh, stand now. Stand by me. Stand by me.
All right, hold on. There's something else I want to. There's another type of chair. Look, no joke. Look, back here. That's at least 5 different types of seating, and this is only in this corner of the restaurant. Sorry, just a weird thing that caught my eye. I'm like, wait, that's a wholly different type of chair. Ugh, too much money on seating. Either way. Mine just had booths or chairs. Yeah, right? Right? Yeah, in Dubai, we can have all kinds of chairs. All the chairs you could possibly want. Sorry, you know me, I get obsessed with little details. Like darts. Like, no joke, is in I mean, I don't know. Is anyone over there playing darts? Just being real? Are we putting that there? I mean, we got a pool table. Most people like pool of some sort. Darts seems like, a very British / American thing. That is interesting, though, to have the booths with the extra seat already ready to go. Like, you feel like half the time they don't have that set up. Like, you gotta make that happen with whatever you got. But you've already got the half round chairs here, so why do you need the square chairs there? Very confusing design. At least these chairs sort of match the tannish brown here. The checkerboard things don't match the seating, but they match the floor, or this rug that's right here. Match is a strong word, but it's there. I don't know, design stuff. Kind of thing bothers me, I guess. Yeah, right. I have no clue what was in the bar area. That's fair. They were specifically in the bar area. Then again, that might be all of it for all we know. That might be a very small thing in that little town center area. Probably like a mall. Feels like TGI Fridays were almost entirely near malls or a Target. Or would they be closer to like a... hold on, I gotta think. The only Fridays we had in the area, and it's gone now. Oddly enough, that came up on the podcast the other day. Weird. It was next to the mall, which was across the street from a Target, but now I'm trying to think, how often do you see them otherwise? Either way, weird things. All right, so it's been a minute since I've thought about Rick Trevino at all, or Trevino. But I remember seeing him as a kid at the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo. It was him and Tracy Bird. I don't think it was the same night, but I know both of those guys were very big in my new country journey back in the day. All right, we got our fiddler back, so let's go. What do we got, boys?
1, 2. I've never felt such emptiness. I've had it made, I must confess. I've had you, I've never been alone.
Sorry, that confused me for a second. I'm like, why is Corey playing the bass? It's like, oh, Dad's not here playing the bass. That's why. Also, you got to go low on the be alone.
Been alone. So keep in mind I'm a little green. Yeah, this is all so new to me. But I'm learning as you go.
Oh, yeah, that's a good song.
So girl, take it easy on this heart of mine. Remember as you leave me, this is my first time. And girl, while you're walking now, please walk out slow. 'Cause I'm learning as you go. It's hard to.
I mean, if you live in Dubai, why would you go anywhere else? I mean, they basically built a paradise in the middle of nowhere. I mean, like, everything around Dubai kind of sucks, mostly desert and whatnot, but, like, if you have the money to be there, like, why not?
All these tears, just where I should go from here. I've never been down this old lonesome road. So excuse me if my heart should break. I'm bound to make a few mistakes, but I'm learning as you go.
By the way, I do love that they now have like a full performance setup, not just them standing in front of the Zoom recorder. I mean, I mean, this is literally like ready to go live performance setup, so it's pretty cool. What do you mean they can't go where? TGI Fridays or America? Because if you're rich, you can go anywhere you want. That's not a problem.
Girl, take it easy on this heart of mine. Remember as you leave me, this is my first time. And girl, while you're walking out, please walk out slow. 'Cause I'm learning as you go. And girl, while you're walking out, please walk out real slow. 'Cause I'm learning as you go. Yeah, I'm learning as you go.
Nice.
What everybody think?
I was decently happy with
Yeah.
that one.
That's pretty damn good, boys. Pretty damn good, boys. And yeah, the fiddle is the backbone of that entire song. Oh, nice. Purchase a CD. Nice. Streaming website, Instagram, Facebook. I should follow their Facebook. Should definitely do that. Nice. Alrighty then. I'm going to, right there, I'm going to go ahead and move this to here and that to there. Now it makes more sense. All right, so I'm not sure. I don't think this is the same song we already saw from Josh Turner and Damon Smith. If it is, I'll turn it off. But I remember they did a song very similar to this. I just don't know if it's the same one. We'll see. Looks like the same setup.
Sunrise doesn't last all morning.
No, this is a different song.
A cloudburst doesn't last all day. Seems my love is up and has left you with no warning. It's not always gonna be this great. All things must pass. All things must pass away.
Oh, Benny and the Jets was the one we didn't like.
Sunset doesn't last all evening. A mind can blow those clouds away. After all this, my love is up and must believe it. But it's not always gonna be this great. All things must pass. All things must pass away.
this can last. So I must be on my way to face another day. Now the darkness only stays at night time. In the morning it will fade away. Daylight is good at arriving at the right time, but it's not always gonna be this great. All things must pass.
I know I should pause, but I'm enjoying this.
Must pass away. All things must pass. All things must pass away.
Why did I feel like there was going to be like a ding?
Nice. That one felt good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was it for me personally.
Cool. Yeah, I'm happy with that. There are one or two kind of silly slide things that I can probably turn down a little bit, but there are gonna be silly
like that.
slide things when there's unless I.
That's endearing in a way.
Nobody was speaking of
I
that,
get
but
it when
yes, that is tonight. Yes.
When you're the one playing it.
Oh, I just saw that it was kind of near the target. Okay, that's funny. That was actually really good. I enjoyed that. That's why I was like, I'm actually digging this one compared to the Bending the Jets. That was nice. That was nice, boys. It was nice. Yeah, I'm getting tired of this daylight savings time thing. Stupid. Yeah, I was considering doing a Sunday morning stream, but then I realized we got a lot of cleaning to do, and I've got mayo to make tomorrow, so yeah. Oh, was it? I wasn't paying attention. We had homemade chili for dinner, and that's what I keep burping up. It's really tasty. Really tasty. A little spicy on. I like it on the spicy side. As long as it actually has flavor, not just spice. My butt pad is too low. Now it's my coccyx pad. Should be a little bit more, lumbar-y. Instead, it's right in the bottom of everything. Okay, so we've got Life in 3D, probably doing some kind of romantic song, if I had to guess. I don't know enough songs from West Side Story. I don't know what Somewhere is. But these two keep singing romantic songs. It's not weird at all. Not weird at all to sing romantic duets with your sister.
There's a place for us somewhere, a place for us, peace and quiet and open air. Wait for us somewhere.
There's a time for us.
I think I've actually heard this.
Someday a time for us. Time together with time.
3 cameras. 3 cameras. It's already 2 more than the one that they usually use by itself when they stand there uncut. I appreciate it. I was actually very much hoping they had a camera from her side, because that just thematically makes a lot more sense. Hold on, I gotta. Yeah, don't wrap around the chair this time. Okay.
to spare, time to learn, time to care. Someday, somewhere, we'll find a new way of living. We'll find a way of forgiving somewhere. There's a time for us. Someday there'll be.
I'm gonna have to wait till it switches back, but I get that they're keeping him in center frame, but and even with the rule of 3 does usually apply, but sometimes when you have like a massive void, you don't necessarily want to go with the rule of 3. Because I feel like they framed her the exact opposite way, and it worked better. Like, she's big, but on this side, close to the camera, and he's a little bit further back, but for some reason it works better from that side. But if I recall correctly, she's not center frame, but I have to go back and look. Where is she singing? No, she's center frame. Okay. So yeah, they flip it, but for some reason it looks better on that side. I don't know why. Maybe it's because she's in shadow more than he is. He's got, like, there's obviously significant bright light from this way.
It's time for us, time together with time to spare, time to learn, time to care. Someday, somehow, we'll find a new way of living. We'll find a way of forgiving somewhere.
I think they've realized it in the edit that perhaps, I don't know if you guys realize it on this side, it's definitely very much got lower exposure, but the brightness hasn't changed. So it's like from this side, which is the strong lighted side, everything is probably significantly brighter, and they're like, oh, that's too much, and they brought down the exposure. Multicams are fun. Because like it adds a weird like grayness over the screen compared to either of the other two shots. Like from here, total bright, total color.
Somewhere.
Very gray, very dull. Even from that angle, you get a lot more of the brightness.
Hold my hand and I'll take you there. Somehow, someday, somewhere.
Breathe, girl. Jesus. Okay, I'm not gonna let that go on. That was loud at the end there. So I think I realized what one of the things is why it bothers me from the left side instead of the right side. So from Dora's side, wherever it is, there it is. So one, you got the black void, but this is the darker side. And a lot of the times he's not fully in frame, like he's like halfway cut off. It's one thing. But I don't know, it's like he's actually, because he's better lit from that side, he's actually more focused. It doesn't make any sense. Visually, like, it could just be because they darkened it that I don't like this side as much. But she also turns towards the camera. He's actually facing a bit more away. Maybe that's also part of it. Like they're supposed to be framing him, but your eye gets drawn to her anyways. I don't know. Song was fine, so I gotta critique the video. It's like so it always comes down to nothing. Can't critique anything in the song. It's like just gotta critique the video. Maybe this is why they don't do multicams very often. Yeah, as soon as it switched from this shot to that one, I was like, yeah, something ain't right. But yeah, I do think it's the fact that she's turned more at the camera, but from the other angle, he's more away from the camera. I think that's the main thing that bothers me about it. Or maybe it's not so much bothers as stands out. Like she stands out more on this side than he does on the opposite. Very strange. Don't know. Because it looks like it's the same performance, just shot from 3 different cameras and then edited together. That's the best way to do it. Because then you don't have... otherwise, you have to wait for cuts in between and hope that they're doing everything exactly the same between performances. And that's a pain in the butt, and you don't want to do that. All right, either way. Yeah, I would not have messed with the exposure level on this side, but I kind of get why, especially with his glasses likely reflecting a lot. I can already see a white spot like right here from the light source, and maybe that's part of why they did it. But there's an easy fix for that. You guys notice I don't tend to wear my glasses on stream. You know why? Because you won't be able to see my eyes because, you know, big bright lights in the sky. I would agree to that too. But then that means they would have to, if you wanted them singular, then they'd have to be doing separate performances. But because you're only having to sync one person singing, it's significantly easier than trying to make sure both people are lined up. So it's still a pretty good point and pretty good idea. I also thought about that. It's like you got multiple cameras, but at that point, if you're shooting that, you don't have to use multiple cameras. You could do that with a singular cam. The whole point of capturing it with 3 cameras is to do a singular performance and cut back and forth. So, I mean, yeah, I would have just like got rid of the glasses or something for that reason, or just for funsies, because the shadow frame is going to be there regardless. Get lensless glasses for shooting music videos. A lot of people do it. It's like it's just for the reason that you don't blur out the eyes. You know, and you don't just have this nice glowing reflectivity effect. But I also would have, you know, because they're doing like a dual source, like one over here, one kind of in the front, or maybe it's all just off to the left slightly. And no, they have a little bit of backlighting because her hair is glowing, and you know the back of his ear is glowing as well. So definitely a low light because you don't see the tops of their heads. But you got light on the shoulders, so that is coming from above and behind, kind of like mine is. That's why you can see my shoulders so lovely lit in that so from here you can tell there's clearly a yellow light above and that way, but it's not bright enough to affect him as much. But you get a little bit shining on this shoulder right here. But yeah, lensless glasses probably the best way to go for shooting music videos. Just duplicate your glasses with no lenses, easy enough. But yeah, like I said, I don't know why her angle is better, but it could just be simply the lighting. Yeah, just critiquing. So the thing is, as you guys didn't technically get to see last week when I was doing my editing live last Saturday, the main issue I have, even though I'm shooting with 2 cameras in the same location of the same thing, and they're at the same settings, like the cameras are actually at the same settings, because of where they're sitting in a well-lit area that is, while well-lit, is using the worst possible frequency on the lights. Like, it's yellow. It is super, super yellow. The stage is gray. And there's like, it's really, really, really hard to shoot in there without a really strong source light. And for some reason, we're not allowed to use said really, really strong source light. So I have to do my damnedest when putting together these church sermons to make sure the lighting balance works, the color balance works, And when you have multiple people coming in and out that are wearing different colored clothes compared to the people who are going to be on camera for a really long time, different skin tones makes a big difference. And because we don't have a singular, really powerful light source, we're going in and out of shadows that are not meant to light a person who's supposed to stand in a particular spot. They're just there as overall lighting, even though they're very bright can lights in the ceiling. It's really kind of a pain in the butt, but it's given me the kind of insight into, oh, great, how the hell do I manage to balance these two things between two cameras that are in different parts of the same room, filming the same thing in the same crappy lighting, and make it look like something at the end, which has been the hardest part. It's like I'm not super proud of the actual. I'm not super proud of the actual visuals from last week because it'll be going up tomorrow. But the editing job I thought was actually really good. There's just nothing I can do about the limitations on the lighting and how it affects the camera. I can just do my best, but I can't keep something in focus, and I can't keep the gimbal locked on properly all the time in poor lighting. It is a problem. All right, so we're going to take a quick education break for the Fat Electrician. So we're doing The Florida Man That Ended World War II, Marcus McDilda. Yes, get out all the jokes now.
I'm telling you right now, it's not clickbait. I will lay out the case that a Florida man BS'd his way into convincing the Japanese to surrender, and I'll probably end up ranting about communism along the way. Today we're talking about Marcus Elmo McDilda, a 23-year-old P-51 pilot that was shot down over Japan, and in order to save his own life, proceeded to lie his ass off so much and so well that he was labeled a very important person by the Japanese government, flown to Tokyo, and interviewed by one of the heads of the Japanese nuclear programs. Through a string of events, his web of lies penetrate all the way to the chambers of the Japanese Supreme War Council while they're discussing whether or not Japan should surrender. And it is here that they become, at a minimum, a contributing factor in their decision, if not the straw that broke the camel's back. And we're going to get into it right after a word from our sponsor.
That's what Sponsor Skip does. It's not a Delete Me commercial, so I don't care. Always watch the Delete Me commercials. Also buy Echelon. I just ran out. And mine doesn't refill till middle of this week.
Our story begins on August 8th, 1945, and our main character, Marcus McDilda, a 23-year-old P-51 fighter pilot from Florida,
Why is there no music?
has the day off. Some of the other fighter pilots in his unit are getting ready to go out on a strafing run over Osaka, and one of these pilots, as they're all, getting ready, they're getting in the planes, he's like, I can't do this right now. I've got battle fatigue. I can't do it. At which point, Marcus McDilda makes a critical error. He commits the cardinal sin in the U.S. military. He volunteers.
What? Yep. Idiot. That's a bad idea.
So he goes, he hops in this other guy's plane. It's already fueled up, has ammo, it's ready to go. They take off on this mission over Osaka. While they're executing the mission, he gets shot down. He survives, he crash lands in the ocean. Presumably he's floating around in the ocean for a little while. Then the Japanese roll up and pluck his ass out of the water. Now he's captured.
That was fast.
Okay, if you've been watching my channel for a while, or if you just know literally anything about World War II, the last people that you would want to be captured by in World War II were the Japanese. And to make things worse, it's 1945. We were at the ass end of World War II when Japanese desperation...
I think it was Unit 571 or something like that. I think that's what it's called. There's a reason we know how much water is in the human body. Yep.
Is at its peak. So not only is he now captured by the last people you want to get captured by, he's captured by the last people you want to get captured by at the worst possible time when they're at their most desperate. Okay, like I said, never volunteer for anything. Regardless, he is now captured. They make their way to shore. Once they get to shore, they blindfold him and they have to walk him through the city in Osaka to get to the police military headquarters. Obviously, this creates a spectacle for all the civilians on the street. Bear in mind, these same civilians are being propagandized to believe that Americans are monsters that are coming to kill them all, and they are highly encouraged to fight them to the death.
That makes sense.
Okay, if you're not picking up what I'm putting down, I'm trying to tell you that the mob of civilians and the MPs beat the dog shit out of him while he's blindfolded the entire way to the police station. They get there, he gets strapped down to a chair, and the interrogation begins. The questions start off pretty much exactly how you think they would. Like, hey, you got shot down in a P-51. Tell me everything.
And by the way, I do have an echelon left right here, but it's my last unsub Killer Apple. And the only reason I would drink that is to empty out the can. That might happen anyways. Either we'll see what happens.
You know about the P-51. Marcus lies about everything, just making up whatever they want to know. He's making up a stat. He's giving them the wrong answer, but he's acting like it's the truth. Then after he's answered all the questions they want answers to, they...
By the way, since we're here, I would like to say congratulations to Brennan Herrera for technically winning the primary for Texas District 23 over the incumbent Tony Gonzalez. Now, he did force it to another runoff, but Tony, facing a whole lot of scrutiny from Congress in and of itself, because, I don't know, there's a whole lot of bad allegations coming out about Tony that they can't keep a secret anymore. So Tony decided to finally bow out the other day, making Brandon basically the forefront winner of that seat. Now, mind you, he still has to go to the general election later in the year, but technically he won the primary, and Tony's going to finish out his term and be gone. So as long as Brandon, basically, it's already like an R+7 district anyway, so in theory, Brandon's already got it. So kind of sucks for us as fans on YouTube, but probably going to do some good over there in the Congress. And yes, they've already started the smear campaign. They had that shit ready to go.
Leave. A little bit of time goes by. He's still in the room by himself, strapped to a chair. Eventually, they come back in, and they just beat the shit out of him all over again. Then they ask him the same questions over again. And this goes on for hours. They come in, they beat the shit out of him, they ask him the same questions. They're just trying to see if he gives a different answer after an ass whooping, to see if he's lying about something, to figure out how credible his answers actually are. Then they come back in and they're like, how many P-51s are stationed on Iwo Jima, which is where he took off from? And he's gonna lie, obviously, and he's gonna make that lie a greater number than there actually are, because he wants to be as scary as possible to the enemy. So he says 300. At which point, the military officer pulls out an aerial reconnaissance photo showing there's only 150 P-51s on Iwo Jima, and they beat the shit out of him again for lying. Okay, they're playing mind games with him. They want to mess him up to get real information out of him. They want him thinking in the back of his head every time they ask a question, oh shit, they probably know the real answer, and if I don't tell them the truth, I'm gonna get beat again. That way, he gives them real intel. At least that's what the Japanese are trying to do with this interrogation. The problem is they're missing some context clues as to who they're fucking with, and the main one being his face. I mean, look at Marcus McDilda's face. Does that look like a face that you could trust? Absolutely not. I'm not trying to badmouth the guy, but I mean, just look at that. That is a smile that a toddler gives you when you're like, did you poop your pants? And they're like, no. You're not getting in that guy's head. That.
Can we just hold on? Come on. Where is it? I got bad teeth. I don't want to show them. Getting them worked on. Getting them worked on. My next crown goes on at the end of the month. Look at the shine in Nick's eyes. That's so funny.
You're not getting in that guy's head. That guy just looks like he fucks with people for fun. Regardless, this goes on literally all day and into the night. Just like they come in, they ask questions, he lies his ass off, they come back in, they beat the shit out of him, they ask him more questions. It just keeps going and going and going for hours upon hours. And then the Japanese must think they have this guy on the ropes, because the questions start getting weird and oddly specific when one of the officers comes in and says, tell me everything you know about the atomic bomb.
Oh, yeah, that thing.
And this throws a wrench in Marcus's plan, because he doesn't know anything about the atomic bomb. Like, he doesn't even know enough to lie and bullshit to make it seem like he knows what he's talking about, so he tells him the truth. I don't know anything. Okay, important context. It's nighttime on August 8th. August 6th, 2 days prior, America just nuked Hiroshima. And at this point, technically Japan isn't even sure yet that they were nuked. I mean, obviously they knew they were hit with a massive bomb, but they didn't know if it was an actual nuclear warhead yet or not. They had their nuclear engineers out at Hiroshima sifting through the rubble, trying to determine if it was in fact a nuclear weapon, and America had figured out how to do it. And the scientists would confirm that it was a nuclear bomb by August 9th, but at this point, they don't know that yet, so the Japanese are looking for literally any intel whatsoever, even if it's just him confirming that, yeah, that was a nuke that we dropped on Hiroshima. But the problem is, Marcus is a random-ass fighter pilot stationed on Iwo Jima, 750 miles away from Hiroshima.
I just got here.
He doesn't know shit. Not only does he not know anything about nuclear weapons specifically, he might not even realize that Hiroshima was hit with some new type of weapon. He might have not even heard that yet. He has no clue what they're talking about, but they just keep kicking his ass and asking him questions about the atomic bomb.
Yeah, and it's not like normal people in the military would have had any clue that the bomb was going at all, right? So what the heck? The victim gets all fuzzy.
And this goes on for a while, and then eventually they come back in the room, but this time there's a different Japanese officer with him, and this guy's a general, and he's carrying a fucking katana. Okay, presumably the whole vibe is just like, now the big boss is coming in here to show the kids how it's done. He pulls this katana out, cuts open Marcus's lip, and then tells him, and I quote, "If you don't tell me about the bomb, I'll personally cut your head off."
Bomb, 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 bomb. You gonna arrest me?
So now Marcus is sitting there, still strapped to the chair, bleeding everywhere. He's got this new gash in his lip, bleeding all over the place, and he's like, shit, what do? I don't know anything, and they're about to cut my head off. And it's at this point, he has his Slumdog Millionaire moment where he just pulls every deep memory he has and concocts a giant pile of bullshit to tell this guy. He remembers one of his military buddies that everybody had nicknamed the Brain because he had a PhD in chemistry one day trying to explain the theory of what a nuclear weapon would look like to all the other average Joes. So he combines whatever he can remember from that conversation with just a bunch of random knowledge from whatever he remembers from taking physics and chemistry back in high school, and this is what he comes up with. This is a direct quote. As you know, when atoms are split, there's a lot of pluses and minuses released. Well, we've taken these and put them inside of a huge container and separated them with a lead shield. When the box is dropped out of a plane, we melt the lead shield and the pluses and minuses come together. When that happens, it causes a tremendous bolt of lightning and the atmosphere rolls back. It brings about a tremendous thunderclap which knocks down everything beneath it. Okay, complete bullshit, just making it up. Like, I don't know, man, there's...
I mean, can you explain how a nuclear bomb works? I couldn't have. I couldn't tell you. All I know is nuclear stuff is here, explosive thing is here. Kaboom. I know nothing about the in-between. So the pluses and minuses inside, you know, it's a whole lot of math, and, you know, that scares them, right?
Protons and electrons, and then we separate them, and then they come back together and they clap together and make a lightning bolt, and then everybody's dead. That's the atomic bomb. Okay, but we got to put this into context, right? You know who else doesn't know anything about atomic bombs? The military police that are interviewing him. On top of that, he's got a southern accent, and the military interpreter for the Japanese, I'm gonna go out on a limb and say English isn't exactly his first language. So it's two people arguing about something they know nothing about with a language barrier. Because of that, they fucking buy it.
Yeah.
So now the Japanese think that he knows something. They keep asking more questions, assuming the intel is now correct. They're like, how big is the bomb? Marcus continues to lie his ass off. He's like, oh, fuck, big bomb, big explosion. It's got to be pretty big, right? It's like 36 feet long and 24 feet wide. That's a direct quote. That's what he tells them. And they buy it, which is insane because that doesn't even make sense.
Big.
36 feet long is like the length of a school bus, and 24 feet wide would be more than 2 school buses wide. You're not fitting that inside of a fucking plane, but whatever. Confirmation bias is a motherfucker, I guess. They believe him. They start hitting him with more questions. Does America have more than one of these bombs? And he's like, yeah, we have a bunch of them. Where's America going to use this weapon next? And he thinks for a minute. He's like, okay, what's going to sound the most scary? He ends up coming up with 2 cities, Tokyo, which is the capital, and Kaido, which is like the spiritual capital of Japan. It's got all the important landmarks and all the important like religious sites and everything else. Very important to the culture of Japan. So that's what he says. Tokyo and Kaido. Tokyo's supposed to be bombed in the next couple of days. Hearing this, the general rushes out of the room, sends a message straight to Tokyo, warning them of the impending attack, which is kind of important because you know who's in Tokyo? The Emperor and the rest of the Supreme War Council. From here, Marcus McDilda is labeled a very important person by the Japanese military and shipped to Tokyo so he can be interrogated by one of the heads of their nuclear program.
You know nothing.
Okay, the Supreme War Council of Japan. You have the Emperor, who's like the head of everything. He's all powerful. He has complete authority over everything. But beneath him is the Supreme War Council, the big...
I've got at least 2 different movie/TV clips in mind for whenever they get to the point that's coming up. Once again, I've heard this story, just not from this video.
Big Six, as it's commonly referred to, which is basically the 6 people actually running Japan. It's comprised of the Prime Minister, the Minister of Foreign Affairs, the Minister of the Army, the Minister of the Navy, the Joint Chief of the Army, and the Joint Chief of the Navy. And right now, at the same moment that Marcus McDilda is getting interrogated in Osaka and or in transit on his way to Tokyo, they are having a meeting in an underground bunker deciding whether or not Japan should surrender, and if so, what are the terms going to be? So right now, it's August 9th, 1945, and they've pretty much been in this meeting only stopping to eat and sleep since Hiroshima was bombed on August 6th. Now, the Big Six at this point in time is divided on whether or not they should surrender, and the reason for that is they don't even know for sure that it was a nuclear bomb that hit Hiroshima. They haven't heard back from the scientists yet. Then they hear back from the scientists that it was in fact a nuclear bomb that hit Hiroshima, at which point the conversation shifts from, okay, it was a nuclear bomb, but surely America only has one because they have a nuclear program. They knew how incredibly hard it was to get enriched uranium to be able to make nuclear warheads. So even though America was able to make one, surely they weren't able to make 2, let alone more. So half of the Supreme War Council's attitude is, we've already weathered the storm, let's just stay in the fight. And then the bad news just keeps rolling in for the Supreme War Council. They get word that a couple of hours ago, right after midnight on August 9th, the USSR invaded Manchuria. And then shortly after that, they get word that an American P-51 pilot was shot down over Osaka and interrogated, and apparently knows all kinds of stuff about the nuclear program, and he says that America has a ton of nuclear bombs and they're going to be nuking Tokyo next. After hearing this, half the War Council is still not convinced. They refuse to believe that America has multiple nuclear weapons, let alone enough to win the war against Japan. The primary guy pushing for this is the Chief of the Navy's General Staff, Admiral Toyota. So they're in there, they're arguing, they're going back and forth for hours, like, what if this guy...
Yes, Toyota
is telling the truth, this guy's not telling the truth, and then somebody else walks in with more intel. America just dropped an atomic bomb on Nagasaki, and everybody presumably just kind of looks at Admiral Toyota like, apparently they have more. And apparently the next one's hitting Tokyo, which is where we're at. At this point, the conversation shifts from whether or not we're going to surrender to how we're going to surrender. And again, they're split pretty much down the middle. All the people that were against surrendering are now okay with surrendering, but they have 4 conditions. And those conditions are: the Emperor has to remain in power, all the Japanese military that's overseas has to be de-armed and demobilized by Japan and no one else. All Japanese war criminals have to be taken to trial and punished by Japan, not an international council or any other country, and there will be no occupation of mainland Japan. Basically, they just want to throw their hands up in the air and be like, okay, the war's over, everybody go home.
Done, everybody. We can collectively take credit for that because we worked as a team.
Which would be the best possible outcome for Japan, so why are the other 3 people on the Supreme War Council voting against it? Well, it's
that rotoscoping job could have been better there, Fluck.
Because they're realistic and they know that's never going to happen. America's not going to let you be like, okay, the war's over, everybody go home, and then you go back to Japan, nobody gets in trouble, and then you rebuild your military and try to Pearl Harbor us again. Like, it's just unrealistic. Because at this point, America had already issued the Potsdam Agreement last month in July, which basically said Japan's going to have an unconditional surrender, and that's the only way that this war is ending. So the other 3 people on the Supreme War Council are advocating, instead of having 4 conditions, which is completely unrealistic, they just want 1 condition, and that is the condition that the Emperor remains in power, because the Emperor at this point of time is both the spiritual and the government leader. He's basically the son of a god leading Japan. Like, if Japan loses the Emperor, they lose their entire cultural identity. He's very important to the Japanese people as a whole, so that's what they want. That's, if they could get that, that would be good enough. But the other 3 aren't going for it. The debate goes on all day long. It is complete gridlock, and by 2 a.m. on August 10th, 1945, they finally have to call in the Emperor to break the tie. And he votes on the 1 condition surrender, that he remains in power.
Who saw that coming? I did.
And that's that. Japan is now surrendering on the singular condition that the emperor remains in power, and shortly after that, later in the morning on August 10th, 1945, Douglas MacDilda finally makes it to Tokyo and is interviewed by somebody in charge of their nuclear program. He walks inside this interrogation office. There's a civilian there. He's got on a suit, a tie. He introduces himself and he's like, I'm a graduate of City College in New York. I'm most interested in hearing your story about the atomic bomb. So Marcus gets on his lion face and repeats his line of bullshit that he told to the military police, and within like 2 minutes, this nuclear engineer is just like, you don't know anything about this, do you? No, nothing. I literally just made it all up so they didn't cut my head off, which is what they said they were gonna do. Yeah, that makes sense. From here, according to all the documentation that we have, they then proceeded to have a civil, friendly conversation for a little while, and then he got sent to a different jail cell where he never got his ass beat again. The dude is just, he maxed out the charisma skill tree, okay? So now the Japanese know that this guy was full of shit, or at least he doesn't actually understand how nuclear fission works, which, you know, for a fighter pilot, that would make sense. But he was right about America having more bombs because they just bombed Nagasaki, and he could be right that America has even more, and they're gonna be bombing Tokyo tomorrow, which is what he said, so it doesn't change their decision to surrender. They still are willing to surrender to the American government. On August 12th, the American government comes back to their one condition surrender and says, no, it's going to be an unconditional surrender. To which the Empire of Japan agrees, and by August 15th, 1945, Emperor Hirohito briefs the Japanese people over radio waves where he tells them that Japan is having an unconditional surrender due to because, and I quote, a new and utmost cruel bomb. Buh! The real reason that Japan surrendered was actually because the USSR invaded Manchuria. Buh! Oh my god, I hate this stupid commie talking point. You know what? I got time today, actually.
He does.
Yes, Einstein, Japan, the one military in World War II that was world-renowned for never giving up, fighting till the bitter end, and be willing to die rather than dishonor themselves on the battlefield, surrendered their entire country because the USSR invaded, let me check my notes, northeastern China, 1,200 miles away from mainland Japan. Makes perfect fucking sense, especially when you take into consideration there's an ocean in between China and Japan, and the USSR doesn't have a fucking navy to move their troops.
What's wrong? Can't swim. What?
Now, to be intellectually honest, there was in fact a plan on how the USSR was going to move their troops from China into mainland Japan should it come to that, but that was Operation Hula, where the United States Navy was going to ferry your asses across the ocean, and you're not going to be willing to admit that because the entire reason you like this talking point is so you can show America bad, communism good.
Yeah.
But it actually was because of the shock factor, because the Soviet Union and Japan had a non-aggression pact, so they had no idea that this attack was coming. But
I'm not done yet.
Okay, first of all, having a non-aggression pact with one of the worst actors in World War II isn't the flex that you think it is. Kind of like you had a non-aggression pact and a secret agreement with Nazi Germany to invade Poland, and then people are like, no, they didn't invade Poland together. It wasn't planned. They just both conveniently did it at the same time and then threw a fucking victory parade together after they conquered the entire fucking country. Isn't the flex that you think it is. Show the pictures of the Nazis and the Soviet Union having a victory parade together in Poland, please. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Secondly, they absolutely knew it was coming because the Soviet...
Hold on, wait. Back up, come on. Come on. Damn, it talks so fast.
Victory parade together in Poland, please.
No, say thank you. The majestic, magnificent, glorious editor Fluck, just without the tattoos, muscles, and hair. But I'm a dad with 2 kids, so I will always use Disney references. There you go. And actually, Fluck was on the latest...
Welcome.
Secondly, they absolutely knew it was coming because the Soviet Union denounced the Japanese USSR non-aggression pact on April 5th, 1945, 3 months fucking prior, and it doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure out when somebody goes, hey, you remember that agreement we had to never ever fight? Yeah, that's off. Yeah, shocking that they would attack you right after doing that. I know, I bet everybody was surprised.
Oh, fuck. I can't believe you've done this.
With that being the case, if they surrendered exclusively because of the USSR, why didn't they just surrender back in April? Better yet, why didn't they surrender between the 11-hour gap between Manchuria getting invaded and the second bomb hitting Nagasaki? How come the emperor had to come in and break a tie like 24 hours later, even after the second bombing at Nagasaki? Okay, if you want to say the USSR was part of their decision to surrender, sure, absolutely, I'm right there with you. It was definitely an added factor on top of the sun rising multiple times a day on several occasions, for sure. But the main reason was the fact that America figured out how to drop a fucking star out of an airplane.
Yeah.
Saying stupid shit like Japan didn't surrender because of nuclear bombs, they actually surrendered because of the USSR invading Manchuria, is like saying, oh, my cousin Ronnie had the flu and then he died. Oh, really? Your cousin Ronnie died from the flu? Yeah, for sure. It was also the car wreck when he careened off a cliff. No, your cousin Ronnie died in a fucking car wreck. He also had the flu, okay? It might have been a small contributing factor. It's not what we're writing down on the death certificate. Okay, and here's the dumbest part. Let's just say that you're right. For the sake
At least he went with flu.
of argument, you're not right, but let's just say that you are, and Japan actually surrendered because the USSR invaded northeastern China 1,200 miles away from their mainland. Let's just say that's what actually happened, okay? Even if that were true, it's still America's fault because the USSR wouldn't have survived till 1945 if it wasn't for Lend-Lease, and that's not according to me, that's according to Joseph Stalin, the leader of the USSR, when he said, and I quote, "The most important things in war are machines. The United States is a country of machines. Without the machines we received through Lend-Lease, we would have lost the war."
Yep.
So take your stupid America bad revisionist history commie talking points and shove them up your ass. I'm sorry, I'm getting horrifically sidetracked.
Yeah.
I know there's a lot of normal people that are watching this like, oh, surely the fat electrician's being dramatic. There's not a significant portion of people that actually believe that. Trust me, there are. They'll be in the comments down below. They're in comments all.
So, let's go. I got time today. That's good. That's funny. Yeah, if you can't dazzle them with brilliance, baffle them with bullshit. That's great. I'm getting sidetracked. That's funny. That is so funny. That guy, Dan Severn. Wait. Dan Severn. That name sounds familiar. Severin is the name I'm thinking of. This Severn. All right, anyway. Don't volunteer for anything. Yep. Yep. He invented the antimatter warhead and didn't even know it. That's funny.
over the internet. They're absolutely everywhere. I promise you they're real. I'm not making it up. Anyways.
Almost lost my cool there.
August 15th, 1945, the Emperor gives a speech. He announces that Japan is surrendering. That doesn't become official on paper and signed until September 2nd, but pretty much from the moment he made that announcement, effectively all tensions ceased. The war was over. Because of that, Marcus McDilda is released from his internment camp on August 30th, 1945. He then has to go to trial to testify against Japanese war criminals because the original internment camp that he was captured at in Osaka, he is one of only 2 airmen to survive that internment camp because after the Emperor announced his surrender, the man in charge of that internment camp elected to have all of his POWs executed. So while being able to say that Marcus's lies contributed to the Japanese surrender is speculation at best, it is an absolute fact that it, at a minimum, saved his own life, which is why he is commonly cited as a case study example as to why and how torture doesn't work, because believe it or not, people that are about to get their heads chopped off will say literally anything they have to not get their heads chopped off. Shocking,
Yep.
I know.
Weird.
Regardless, after World War II, Marcus McDilda would return home to Florida, he would marry his wife, they would have 3 kids, and he got to live happily ever after. And that is the story of how a 23-year-old P-51 pilot, aka the Florida man of World War II, created an elaborate lie to save his own life, and that lie created a piece of intel that America was going to nuke Tokyo and had a bunch of more nuclear weapons, and through a weird twist of fate, that exact piece of intel made it into the Supreme War Council of Japan's chambers at the exact moment that they were debating on whether or not America had more nuclear weapons, and it may or it may not have pushed them over the edge and forced them to surrender. Thank you for watching. Best way to support the channel is go buy some merch, maybe drink some Echelon. All that's available over at thefatelectrician.com. Quack bang, out. I'm telling you, you have to follow the cardinal rules of the military. Never stand when you could sit, never sit when you could lay down, never be awake when you could be asleep, and never volunteer for anything.
Yep. Yep. This is very true. Nice. We were originally going to watch this one right here from Jake the Lawyer, but I realized Nick was right there and I hadn't watched this one yet. So either way, that was fun. It's getting late, but I want to try to get through at least 2 of the songs tonight before we go too much further. I think we can hold off on that one, but I want to make sure I at least do this one and then either Erik or Corvyx. We'll see. All right. So let's go ahead and check this one out before we go, because I already teased myself with this one, so I'm not going to let it get away. All right. So this is Miley Cyrus's Wrecking Ball in the style of Linkin Park.
See, I don't know why, but I want to hear Wrecking Ball in the style of Linkin Park. All right, we're going to do it. I'm going to ask my buddy Mac Lockheed to join me this time. Mac, do you accept the challenge?
I'm ready. Let's do it.
Let's go.
We clawed, we chained our hearts in vain. We jumped, never asking why. We kissed, I fell under your spell of love. No one could deny. Don't you ever say I just walked away. I will always want you. I can't live a lie running for my life. I will always want you.
I will say, like, that first little bit with Mac coming in there actually has like a more of a sublime feel to it.
Put you high up in the sky, and now you're not coming down. You're not coming down. Turned you, let me burn, and now we're ashes on the ground. Ashes on the ground. Don't you ever say I just walked away. I will always want you. I can't live a lie running for my life. I will always want you. I came in like a wrecking ball. I never saw.
That was fun. I do love that they switch where he gets to do where Anthony gets to do the scream and then Mac gets to rock out really hard. Sorry. That has been like stuck in the back of my brain since yesterday morning when I saw the clip. I was like, oh, I gotta wait. I enjoyed that. I mean, I don't have a problem with actual Wrecking Ball. I mean, yes, it was a massive earworm. It was massively overplayed, but then again, what major hit isn't? So that's actually a very cool redo on that one. Very, very neat. Probably could have used a little bit more of the like stutter effect, maybe a little bit, but other than that, not a huge difference in changes I would like to see. But other than that, I enjoyed that. I enjoyed that thoroughly. Might have to add that into rotation. Okay. That's right at 10 o'clock. You know, we got time for both. Yeah, we can finish up both of these. All right, so Corvyx with a new one, doing a Snow Patrol cover. And let's see what we're doing. Cinematic duet cover. Now, I like the last couple things we saw with King Vagabond and Corvyx, so this might be good. Or it might be weird. Well, okay, let's be fair here. It's definitely going to be weird because it's Corvyx, but doesn't mean it's going to be bad. I'm going to rate a thumbs up.
We do it all.
You should nail this part. Yeah.
Everything on our own. We don't need anything or anyone. If I lay here, if I just lay here, would you lie with me and just forget the world?
Ooh, I like it together.
I don't quite know how to say how I feel. Those 3 words I said too much, they're not enough. If I lay here, if I just lay here, would you lie with me and just forget the world? Forget what we're told before we get too old. Show me a garden that's bursting into life. Let's
Who is that on the drums? I don't know. Hold on. Give me a second. I got to go leave a comment while I'm thinking about it. All right.
waste time chasing cars around our heads. I need your grace to remind me to find my own. If I lay here, if I just lay here, would you lie with me and just forget the world? Forget what we're told before we get too old. Show me a garden that's bursting into life. All that I have, all that I am, all that I ever, all that I ever is here in your perfect eyes. They're all I can see. I don't know where, I don't know where. Confused about how it's was. Just know that these things will never change for us at all.
He's got one of them long necks.
Would you lie with me and just forget the world?
This looks like Evan Peters. Nice. I enjoyed that. That's cool. giving a quick scroll through the comments. All right, we're gonna wrap up here with Erik with a new song. Man, I missed out on a bunch of stuff last week, didn't I? So, Bad Bones. This is a cover or an original? Oh, no, it's a new one. Okay. Solo album. This is after he left Skid Row and Heat. Okay. Neat. So, a new Erik original. Yes, it was, Tara. Somewhere in Tokyo. What?
スウェーデンから来たシンガーエリック・グロンウォールの新曲
Hey, that's the first time I've actually heard his name said. What the hell?
Born out of fire, not to behave. One thing I know is to take my own grave. Been breaking rules since I could crawl. But I'm standing, not gonna fall. Built out of trash, so I am told. I never listen, I'm bound to fall. Can't blame it on my bloodline. Don't worry, cause I feel fine. I've been like this from the get-go. It's all I ever know. So get in line if you come to save it. It doesn't matter what you say. Mom and dad make some bad bones, baby. So get in line if you come to save it. It doesn't matter what you say. Mom and dad make some bad bones, baby. Oh yeah.
His band appears to be a bunch of females.
I can't shake it, won't play along. And it's alright if I get it all wrong. If that's a problem, I know it well. But I'm standing, not gonna fall. Built out of trash, so I am told. I never listen, I'm about to fall. I can't blame it on my bloodline. Don't worry, cause I feel fine. I've been like this from the get-go. It's all I ever know. So get in line if you come to save it. It doesn't matter what you say. Mom and dad made some bad bones, baby. So get in line if you come to save it. It doesn't matter what you say. Mom and dad made some bad bones, baby. I can't blame it on my bloodline. Don't worry, cause I feel fine. I've been like this from the get-go. It's all I ever So get in line if you come to save it. It doesn't matter what you say. Mom and dad made some bad bones, baby. Bad bones, baby, now. So get in line if you come to save it. Doesn't matter what you say. Mom and dad made some bad bones, baby. Bad bones, baby, now.
Damn. Well, it's definitely a rockin' song. Slightly repetitive, you know, if you didn't get the idea, Bad Bones. But the only thing I could say about it is something felt weird where it's like everything felt a little like the drums were like here, everything else felt like here, and I don't know why. I don't know if that's just a YouTube compression thing or what. Everything felt, maybe my ears are just blown out at this point. Either way, that was fun. A lot of energy. We haven't seen a whole lot of originals from Erik over the years, but you know, obviously the man's been in rock music for quite some time. But what's really funny, and Denise and I talked about this in our own little, Messenger. But one of my favorite songs from Gravy AI really sounds like they sampled Erik for it. As like, has anyone thought to just send it to Erik and see if he can just go ahead and make that happen? It's like, hey, this is clearly meant to be you. You and your band need to do this, because that was actually very good. All right, either way, guys, yes, I know there was new voice play, but if I had actually chose to do voice play, This Is Me Today would have showed up, assuming they're not in the chat, just not saying anything. But either way, so guys, I will be back next week, trying to get back on a regular schedule with doing things. Like I've mentioned before, kind of picked up an extra gig now, doing videos for my church, plus the podcast, plus just normal stuff, and I'm actually getting back to filming other things to go up on the Patreon. And apparently I'm getting into making food. It's a whole lot of stuff going on all at once. Kind of being tugged in a few different directions. Even my pastor being like, hey, with all the things you cook and make, you should probably try, filming and making content. And I was like, I have. And it's a pain in the butt in a kitchen that's not built to be a studio. So there's some stuff up on the Patreon for the vlogs if you're doing anything over there. Either way, so guys, y'all have a good night, good weekend. If you're anywhere near the vicinity of the very much rain and other thunderstorms coming through, be safe wherever it is you might be. I haven't been outside since I got home, so I have no idea what the conditions of outside are. But of course, Patreon call on Wednesday, so make sure you come check that out. If you are in the Patreon in the No Monica Nation level, but also just a reminder that we do at least once a month with the trivia nights, usually at the beginning of the month. If we do have a long month, we do an extra one at the end. And I think I looked it up last time. There's only like 4 months this year that have an extra week. So going to be less trivia nights this year. But I'm trying to think of more things I can do with the patrons, more nights a week. We'll see what happens behind the scenes. We'll talk about that on Wednesday. We'll do some brainstormery. See if we can get more people to come over there. Because, I don't know if you guys know this, copyrights are a bitch. We'll see if this stream even makes it through till midnight without getting at least 2 separate blocks on it. We'll see what happens. Copyrights are a bitch. It's annoying. So I'm trying to figure out any other kind of content I can make and still sort of do this thing with you people. So, all right. Either way, have a good night. Have a good weekend. I have much work to do tomorrow, including cleaning and dealing with a wifey who has quit smoking. So once again, prayers for all of that. And before I go, of course, got to show off the Funicorn. And as always, it doesn't have to make sense. It just has to be loud. Oh,